What's up, guys? Welcome to 1UX1. Today we're talking about analyzing the data. So in UX research, you really need to perfect the skill of analyzing data. A lot of my students, they tend to struggle with actually picking out, extracting, analyzing data. So picking out what is key to improving that product design, the user experience, the website, the app. So to analyze the data, first you need to collate the data. So once you've done your recordings, whether that's a video recording, audio recording, or both, you want to analyze it. Now, a quick way you can do that is actually use transcribing software like Otter AI. This isn't a paid advert, but it's a great app, and basically it will transcribe all your videos or audios, so you get all your data really, really quickly and easily, so you can analyze it. So once you've got all your data, let's say you interviewed 6 people, which is the average number. Now you've got 6 interviews and you've got, let's say, 35-minute interviews or 45-minute interviews, got all this data, rich data, 45 minutes per person of content. So let's say you have 6 Word documents. How will you put that together? So I would open an Excel sheet and simply put columns. So we're starting a thematic analysis. So you simply create columns where you're going to put in different areas of your research. So for example, the homepage button, if it's something about the header, if it's something about the logo, the colors, each one of them becomes a column on your Excel sheet. So then you can start to break down that data and start to populate all those columns. So you should have 10, 20, 30 columns. Now, this is where you start to drop in that data, that feedback from the users on that particular subject. So for example, somebody said something about the call to action or something about the design above the fold, which is the bit where you see the website before you scroll, all of that area. Somebody mentioned something about the user experience with that. Your job is to put that in a column and start to add all those quotes about that area. Also, you want to have quotes that are about rating. So because you need qualitative data, which is what they're feeling, what they're saying, and quantitative data, which is the numbers, the figures, the stats. So you rate things. You say to them, well, would you rate this experience from 1 to 5? So you say, okay, what do you think of this user journey? And they say, right, okay, from 1 to 5, 5 being excellent and 1 being poor, you ask them to rate it, and you can put that score in your report. So you have a column for ratings as well. Now, as you add these columns, you're going to see repetitive themes, because you've interviewed 5 or 6 people. They're going to say sometimes the same thing about a certain feature or component of the website. So that's where you start to deduct information. So you're going to say 3 people said this button should be red, not blue. Then you only write that once. So deduce and reduce those repetitive feedback points that you have. So reduce those, remove those, and you start to see that you're going to have all these columns with rich data, but now it's organized into themes. So you have a thematic analysis. That is the beginning of you starting to put that together into a report. So once you've got all those themes, you're going to open up another Excel sheet, so another tab, and you're going to put it into categories. So you're going to put it into neutral comments, positive comments, negative comments, and ratings. So these are like the broad feedback that you're going to use. But don't forget, we're not just capturing problems and pain points, but also the positive feedback. It's always encouraging to know you're doing something well as the majority will be the pain points, the friction, the problems, but you also want to mention the good things that they're doing right. So once you've put down all your thematic analysis in columns, now you've got your areas, positive, neutral, negative, and your ratings. You can start to color code those. So you start to color code the ratings. So you can have green for positive, blue for neutral, and red for negative, and ratings. You can start to use those in a PowerPoint or a keynote presentation. So for each column that you have, you're going to create 1 page to start with, but it will grow to maybe 2 or 3 pages. Now, there's a difference of opinion on user research reports in terms of what they should look like. But there's no hard and fast rule. Don't forget, there's no regulating body for UX research. There's no legal requirements. It is really your own discretion on how you want to do this. My own experience and my feedback I've got from companies that I've worked for is that the reports that I write are really clear, simple, actionable, usable by the developer teams, by the UX designer, interaction designer, service designer, business analyst. So I make things simple. I don't like lots of text. I don't do TLDR, too long, didn't read. I keep it simple. So I keep bullet points. I keep action points with text, quotes. So I have a combination from those quotes. I take quotes, sometimes I paraphrase the quotes into what the user's actually saying. So for example, if they said, I don't like that page because it is too busy, then I'll say, users expect a simpler page. So I paraphrase it into an action. So it's easier to actually implement. Remember, the focus of a UX research report is to help, to implement change. So help them to build a better product from the user's point of view. That's the purpose of it. It's not to make a fancy, beautiful, pretty design. It's actually to build a great product. So remember that always when you're doing your analysis of the data. So once you've got that information together and you've put together in one page or 2 pages of PowerPoint, you can start to design it. And to design it, you can use boxes, you can use groupings to group things together, add images, high quality images. I usually use an image on half a page, and also use a drop shadow to make the image stand out. So these are all the design features which I'll make another video on.